That stream has ended. I know you better not be telling me that you just now going live though. Facebook, Facebook telling me that you just now going live. You missed all of that first part. Well, hello there, YouTube. I'm sorry. I was in the middle of a look, and it's 1:11 on the clock. Well, hello there, Facebook. Some shit. I'm sorry. Look, it's 1:11 a.m. and so I might be a little delirious a little bit. So before this video connected, I had already started the video Consummate. So the first part will be on my Facebook account, as Facebook just showed me that it stopped recording. So now I have to start a part 2 there. So technically this is the introduction to part 2. So thanks for joining. Here we are going to be having a discussion. So if you're looking for a tarot reading, this is not the video. This is a discussion. This is a spiritual discussion in reference to divine unions coming together and being consummated through Christ consciousness and the consciousness of divine light in the Holy Trinity, right? So I kind of want some fresh air, so I'm going to crack a window. 2, I need to establish this, reconnect with Facebook to make sure that they get their part 2. So I'm going to redo that here. And then I'm going to need to grab some water too. So first I kind of want to work on getting this internet connection together. And that actually works out pretty good because I was actually on a intermission anyway. I went to the bathroom and for some reason the connection, timed out. So that's fine. But I do need to figure out why is it that Facebook does that to me. It'll stop recording. I guess, I don't know if it has a limit on the record, whatever. I don't know if there's like an hour limit of going live, or I don't know how that works, but I'll figure it out eventually. Hold on, wait. Oh, that was the wrong one. Damn. Let me type this in first. Okay, I'm not typing in? Okay, well, fuck it then. I'm glad I had this on my clipboard so it doesn't take me as long to type everything out. I can't lie, sometimes I do get overwhelmed with the minute little details. It'd be like, you know what, fuck all that shit. Fuck it all. Oh yeah, I want to put this right here too. I gotta put the title here as well. Excuse me. My body, all over your body, babe. Okay, now that that is done, I'm going to go ahead and get my drink. Whew. Okay. So you get a little bit of the behind the scenes, and we're going to go ahead and jump into this next video. Beginning. Waiting for our connection to be secured. Loading. Please wait. Oh. Hello. Oh, it says 5:22. It always does this to me. It's not been 5 minutes and 22 seconds yet. 5:22. What does that mean? Spirit? What does it mean? You want to look it up? Let's look it up. Let's play with spirit, since spirit wants to dance. What does it mean? Why do I be experiencing these weird things? See if there's a message here. Shut the fuck up. It says, love is a message that comes from angel number 522. This is the attraction towards a certain phenomenon. The angels are saying that your lonely days are over. Shut the fuck up. So I'm taking those messages from here on out, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. On this live, it'll say 4 minutes. And it's like, bro, I literally just pressed start. It's only been 10 seconds. But I'll start to take those messages. Like I told you, sometimes I have glitches in my system. So thank you guys for being here. Thanks for coming back. Okay. So yeah. There's not no glitches over here with me, baby. We live in the Matrix, but shit. 144. Thank you, Spirit. Should they like should pay attention, bitch? It ain't a glitch. Pay attention, bitch. It ain't a glitch. All right. Whoo. Hey there. Hey. Thank you. So if you were with us for part 1 on the Consummate, then you would be understanding that we're here to talk about the divine unions. Then I'll keep my notes intact on how, everything comes together and how we have the clarity in spirit, right? So we definitely got to keep note. It's just so funny how specific this message was, you know. But anyway. Thank you, Spirit. So, just a recap of what was spoken about in the part one. We spoke about valuing the wounded warriors. We spoke about caring for your time. Not sending your kids to dead lands. your kids being your sperm. Send your sperm to fertile in reference to ovulation and the primal instinct of sexual desires, right? We spoke about the constant flow of allowing your partner the freedom to express themselves in their own healing journey. Then we let me see, we talk about all right. So we got a lot more to talk about. We got a lot more. Should possibly break this down to part 3, but we'll see how much information I'm able to get out during this video. And once again, I always allow spirit to lead. Excuse me, I'm spitting. But with that being said, if this video should shut off or whatnot, I won't leave you hanging. I will finish the message because a lot of times too, like I said, sometimes the message wants to be let out, but some type of difficulties or technicalities can try to block that message. So I see 443 also on the clock too, so I'm going to be taking notes of the number. But yeah, especially for right now. But anywho, where was I going with that? So yeah, I gave you pretty much a recap of the first video, and so I was leaving off on the thoughts of taking care of your sacral spaces, your yoni spaces. Wait a minute. Listen to our body, right? So after taking care of myself, listening to my body, respecting my body, let's get back into this cranberry bladder shit. Anywho, point B. The urinary tract is associated with the sacral space of the sacral feminine organs, which and thus is your fertile grounds, which and thus is important to keep your kidneys and your urinary and your bladder. So, with another tip to that, just an off branch of that, is there's this healing techniques that they practice called Ayurvedic healing practices. We also have things associated. Sometimes you might see people doing symbols with their fingers, and you're like, what kind of demon are they worshiping? And why are they doing that? That's the devil. And who do they think they are? So let's look into awareness before we do judgment. Okay. So a lot of times people are judging like what are they doing? What is that, symbol? So a lot of these symbols, and once again, understand that magic, so there are good and bad people that use magic, okay? I can't do nothing about that. All I can do is make sure that I'm using what the fuck I was gifted. But with that being said, you can try to I can even look into one right now, a mudra associated with kidneys. Let's look into that. Mudras associated with kidneys. Should have just typed it in the first time. So you can even do some work on your solar plexus. Wait, not the solar plexus, my bad. Your sacral chakra, the orange chakra, and your root chakra for this. Eat some kidney beans. Because like I said, things are about intention. So if you may have any problems with your kidneys as you eat your kidney beans, you know what I'm saying? Red, deep, rich red things. So here's a specific mudra to help aid your body to detox. So this one is called Aham. Hold on, let's look it up real quick. Hold on. So this is the mudra right there. That's what it looks like. So you put your 2 fingers up. Look, I'm pretty much doing it right now. That's pretty much it. That's all there is to it. Okay. And water retention, excessive urination, a runny nose, meniscus problems. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but someone may know. Acidity, phlegm in the throat or lungs. 200, and look at this. This is how spirit be working when we see what number it says. 222 shares. Spirit is on point. So it says you can do this for 45 minutes every day, either at a one stretch or break it down into 3 parts for 15 minutes 3 times a day. There's not necessarily an ideal time for this mudra, but be cautioned that this should not be done by pregnant ladies before completing 8 months. Okay, so if you are pregnant, you should not practice this mudra unless you are 8 months. Practice to 3 to 4 times a day will ensure normal delivery. So for a pregnant woman, 10 minutes, 3 to 4 times a day. Reduce water element and increase heat. This is not advice to practice this mudra regularly, though, if there's mudra is suggested. So if you have overcome that particular issue, then the practice is complete at that time. So you don't want to practice it if you're not experiencing that need, okay? So things like that, things how we can heal ourselves and our bodies naturally. So I'm getting irritated right here. Let me go get some I have to grab something, some alcohol. So anywho, it says what's next. Let's just get into it, right? 1404. A message for the divine feminine here. Divine feminine. Divine feminine. Divine fem. Hey, mom. Do you mind? The divine masculine is nervous too. Okay? I know a lot of times we get stuck in our heads thinking about, I'm going to do what's best for me. And while this is true, we must consider, others' feelings and emotions and whatnot. We just sometimes don't think that as a masculine that he would be fearful or scared, because masculine is a human. And thus, your masculine is also on a journey. This journey is new for the both of you. So together you will conquer and face your doubts and fears. This was kind of like a mirror. And an example of that is like masculine, feminine doubts projecting onto fears, projecting onto doubts, projecting onto abandonment, projecting onto trust issues, projecting onto, keep projecting each other's bullshit onto each other. And that's not the type of union we see fit. That's the union that tears down and destroys. For us to be able to see the reflection in one another, but we must be cautious to not allow our perception of that reflection to, because security of being cheated on, that can be acted out and sometimes if this person is not careful with their jealousy can become quite possibly physical. That person even wanted to become physical is that they allowed their insecurity to control them, and so now they beating their girl. And I mean, it's so highly be also the awareness of why it's happening, but that person has allowed themselves to get lost in their own baggage. And so that was also a portion of what we mentioned earlier in the first part about not allowing your trauma, your bushes. So together, you must learn to attack situations together and not destroy. This is why this happens, or I'm triggered because of this. So it's not you trigger me, it's all your fault, you did this. No, did this, I was triggered because I had communication also comes into play during that time, right? It says sometimes these fears and doubts can be like I said, being scared to be vulnerable with one, liable, to be dependent on someone else. Okay, I apologize, YouTube, as Facebook once again has stopped recording on me. So I'm not exactly sure why my message is trying to get blocked. 2747. Thank you, Spirit. But they might as well go to fuck to sleep. So once again, I gotta reload. Shut down on me. So listen. As I reload this, I'm gonna try one more time to complete the video through Facebook. If I'm not, and just share a link for Facebook. But then I will continue. That's what I said. I felt like when my lips started to get annoyed, my thought was like somebody telling me to shut the fuck up. Shut that bitch up. No, not tonight. So you can't even see where my skin got a little irritated. But alcohol right here, handy dandy. Alcohol got my back. And it's sensitive, so before I know it, I done touched something and I'm just like, no, anywho. Neither here, I'm just rambling because I'm trying to wait for the video connection to come back to Facebook so that we can complete my thought. Okay. So like I said, I'll give it one more time. I'll try again. Because usually I don't even be trying to get. So I'm even through the live stream. I may even just go ahead and continue. I'm like, come on, because patience is real thin, babe. Come on. Goddamn Facebook. Look, Facebook, I'm going to shut you down, babe. I think I'm going to just do that. And I'm just going to continue here with you, YouTube. Okay? So that's just to kind of cut out any of the confusion or whatever going on. I know. But like I said, I do have the ability to share this video so long as it's secure. Okay? So anywho, I apologize for that little gap, but we are back on track. So, where was I? Yes, we were just discussing fears and doubts. Scared to trust, scared to come together. These are just some examples of how, if you allow your fears and doubts, it can interfere with these connections. Scared to get hurt or betrayed. That's also another factor. And it's like, obviously, if you're not vulnerable, you're never going to be able to open up to even know if it's a betrayal or whatever, Some people could be scared of wasting effort, let alone time, emotion, and energy. Now that's a big one. A 143 on the clock. Hey, I love you too, babe. I love you. So yes, 143. A waste of effort, time, and emotion is pretty much like, that's exhausting, especially if you're trying to build something that you intend to be longevity, and your investment doesn't pay off the way that you expect. And so that can be draining emotionally and exhausting energetically, because outside of, like I said, your own time, emotion, blood, sweat, and tears, you could have also wasted your resources. Or I shouldn't say waste, but disposed of maybe, because, you had to experience that situation or whatnot in order to get, to a better place. But with that said, we are seeking to not, once again, mindlessly go into a situation. We want to be more intentional about how we do things. 144 on the clock, 3303. So, like I mentioned, the investment of long-term falling short, that's also a fear factor where someone is, possibly holding themselves back because they don't want to invest into something that may not make it to the finish line, or they have a lot of situations that were close but it didn't get quite there, and so because of that fear of like maybe not being able to pass that threshold, they just say fuck it altogether, but yeah, like we said, don't allow your fears or your doubts to destroy your connection, making you enemies in your own home. And so like we explained how you can become enemies towards each other and start to kind of tear each other down if you are not having that clarity or even the communication, because communication is very important within the relationship. Properly, communicating and trying to figure out how to navigate with your fears and how to work through your doubts. Because, like I said, communicating can also bring the secure foundation to help establish trust, build trust, and dissipate doubts, right? So that's why it's good to talk about it. Even if you don't always agree, just try to get some level of understanding. So you can have understanding without agreement, but eventually we want to get to a place of understanding where we can either agree or agree to disagree. And it doesn't have to be me attacking you versus us attacking the issue. Okay? Yeah, so yeah, us against the issue is the key here. So yeah, like it says, build trust beyond fear and doubt. Go to your higher source. So your higher source is what you've established your connection in, even though it's establishing your roots as above, so below. So go back to what you established. What was the foundation of this connection? Was it rooted in God, love, and truth? Okay, well, let's get back to God, love, and truth. And if that also, what else was it rooted in? Fun. We like to have fun together. What else did we root this in? We rooted it in a commitment. What I'm saying? We have a commitment to see growth in one another. Okay. We have a commitment to see our family through. We have a commitment to see these legacies and these generations, these generational cycles to be broken. Thank you, God, for that one right there. Yes, God. Most definitely breaking these generational cycles. You see what I'm saying? So as you guys are establishing these unions may not even be thus the sense of traditional in the sense of what traditional was, because there's a new founding of what tradition will become when you establish your union for you and your personal family. It says, ancestors' roots, trust your guides and your self-instincts to make the necessary choices towards the highest desired outcome. So once again, you are going back to your roots. You seek clarity from your ancestors that are also guided in the highest desired outcome, right? And we want to be mindful of keeping the ancestors in the loop of the lineage. I think that's very important, especially for me and my lineage. It's very important to keep the ancestors in the loop of what they also want to see flourish from me, their lineage. You see what I'm saying? So as a respect for my ancestors, I wish to fulfill their desires as well, depending on if it's for the highest desired outcome, okay? Focus less on what isn't working, especially when the attack is on home and family. Lord Almighty knows there is a grand attack. I should have said this in the beginning. There is an attack on the home and family, you guys. I don't know if you're paying attention. And I felt that one. Thank you, Spirit. What I just felt was there was a wave of truth and clarity, but because there's an acknowledgement of it and we're speaking out about it now, there's this sense of restoration as well. So thank you, Spirit, for that. Yes. There's a restoration for the birth of families. I'm so excited, you guys. I'm so excited. Thank you, Spirit. Restoration, right? So, go back to your vows. Like I said, some of these connections have not been rooted in traditional senses of marriage. So with the go back to your vows is saying how go back to what you guys established together in the beginning. When you first got together, what did you base this foundation on, right? What were the commitments that you made, not simply just to one another, but to this genuine connection of what you're building? So there's the third, another entity outside of yourself, probably even the fourth party, right? Because you have God, you have your person, you have you, and then you establish your order with spirit and divine connection. And then, like I said, spirit, your ancestors. So going back to your vows means to go back to the commitment. Okay. It's to establish also, when you go back, you may even establish anew. So how do you say when you go back and then you rearrange some things, as you go through the cycles of life and then the cycle of growth and your commitment to each other and your commitment to this foundation, you guys are both going to have to go back to the drawing board, commit to what's already been established, and thus, like I said, establish new ways. Because some things, especially when it's a new relationship, in the beginning, it's gonna be so much of a roller coaster that you might think, is this shit meant for me? I don't fucking know if this shit meant for me. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit, I'd be ready to jump ship too. Shit. But especially if you had a lot of trauma, we're very quick to jump ship if you got a lot of trauma. But with that said, when you both are doing the work and you both are able to go back to the drawing board to establish, like I said, these vows and commitments to your relationship, then you're able to see through the growth, right? See it through to the growth. So there'll be a growth in your relationship as well. It'll be so beautiful because you know how you notice growth in yourself, or you might notice a growth in your partner, but then when it all comes together and you notice the growth, 4141, so beautiful, of the actual family and how you work together now instead of fighting against one each other. Now you actually are working together. Oh, it's so beautiful. I saw 41. Let me write that down. Yeah, very, very beautiful, right? So, yeah, anywho. So there was an emphasis to reiterate 42:22, attack on families. There's been a legacy attack, a generation attack. And the reason, like I said, why we've been having a call for unions to come together, especially divine connections, things that are of the truth and the light, be reestablished in that order, is because these particular ancestors want to come through a powerful bloodline. You know, you can plant your seed where you feel, like you want to plant your seed, but they're trying to come through some very strong, powerful bloodlines, And so with that being said, they need to reestablish the order of the new world, right? So the generations that's to come will thus further establish the new order of the new world that people are not, most people, the masses aren't aware of yet, right? So yeah, as these rebirthing of ancestors come, then like I said, the world will continue to shift and adjust into the collective consciousness, the why we do what we do for what's to come, right? Not just the gratification of getting money for the here and now because I'm just trying to get money for my ego. No. You get money to establish your legacy. You get money to lock your name, not just your name, but your bloodline into the books. You see what I'm saying? And mind you that wealth isn't simply based in money. So there's a quiet wealth that's rooted in some of the most powerful people are the ones that keep their heads down and they just sow seeds. You see? So don't get confused by, oh, if I don't have all this money, then how am I going to help people? Or if I don't have all this money, then I'm not doing my purpose and creating my link. No. 44. Thank you, Spirit. So yes, it's not simply about thy financial gain. It's also pertaining to the gain of value in the mission of your legacy. So like I said, what you leave in the order, the establishment, not simply a business, but I'm talking about the order, the establishment that you're leaving with your legacy, with your descendants, right? This is so funny because it says, I wrote down, when I becomes we. And it's like, no. But it says, you've been waiting for this your whole life. It's scary though. 45, 55. It is scary. Because like I said, if you live such a long portion, that change can be scary of like, as we change and we go into new cycles and shit of our lives, it can be a scary thing to, if you've been where one, not even simply where one becomes two, one becomes a dozen or some shit. Because it's not just about you anymore. Now it's about, like I just said, you, God, ancestors, children, legacy, fucking mission accomplished. You know what I'm saying? So it's like life flip. And I didn't even add friends to the fucking category because that's a whole nother damn. Look, I think that's why I keep my friends low because that's just energy. That takes a lot of motherfucking energy. I ain't got the time to establish that, those very other, just spreading yourself in so many different areas is a lot. But you've been waiting for this your whole life. This is something that I asked for. I asked to have such a beautiful, healthy, balanced family. And now I get to be able to cultivate it. It's one thing to be wanting to be a part of something, and there's another thing of being able to establish your own. Wow. And thus I still give credit to those before me, even if, we might not agree on certain shit, I'm still very grateful for the lineage I come from, But outside of that, though, let's get to this number. So like I mentioned too a little bit in that first part about how when we've been waiting for something our whole life, we finally get to it. But then sometimes in the middle is the blockages of fears and the doubts and the projections. Like, no, I can't trust you. No, I can't trust you. On guard, you know what I'm saying? But then we have this number 16. And I want to see what the number 16 represents. Number 16, angel number. Okay. Angel number 16, relationship. Ain't that funny? Pause if you need to. I ain't gonna hold my hand up that long. But yeah, basically, this is so funny to me because it keeps pertaining to the love, and it actually pertains to what I was just saying about here. When I wrote, when I become we, and then the number 16 comes to me, and as I look here to confirm, it says, if you are single, the twin flame number 16 is a sign that your soulmate is on their way. And so it's so interesting. We also been talking about the growth of not just a solo person, but the growth of a union together. This is amazing sometimes, like how I just be surprised at spirit working with me too. So thank you, spirit, for the confirmation. And we also had the number 522 pop up in the beginning where it were, like, remember when I said it was like very specific on the love hit, and I was just like, I told y'all the universe be flirting with me. Look at the universe. Flirting. Oh, hey. Okay. Oh, hey. So we read about that. Oh, hold on. We might be coming close. What card did I mention now? Yep. We mentioned that. Hey, now we mentioned that. Okay. We're getting somewhere now, for real. Here we go right here. Yeah. Okay. So now that we made it back to this page, because let me go back to the first page before I go further. So yeah, I'm going to come back here. Or let's just get here and then I can go to my other point. Explore together. So like I said, where you were on a solo mission, a solo journey, you had to go explore, and all of a sudden you were in the wilderness and you guys bump into each other, and now you got to go explore together. And so it was a thought of like, oh, I like that. And it was like, I like it too. It's like, it says something new. Try something new together. Spank me or tie me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got that desire, the sexual desire. So the consummation, if we can wrap that word up real quick and tie it into why the word was referenced for this particular, discussion. Consummation of a union is when it's solidified and coming together. 5151. Thank you, Spirit. So you guys make an agreement to do the deed. You know what I'm saying? To really have the sexual encounter that will very much so seal the deal, pretty much, right? It's like licking the envelope. You want to lick your envelope. Ooh, you better stop playing like that taco. Okay, calm down. Lick the taco. Lord have mercy. Okay, but what was I saying? Yeah, trying some new things together. So, as like I said, you go on your journey solo, this person goes on their journey solo, but now you guys get to explore together. And so now you're going to see, do we enjoy this? Spank me. Let's try it. 5252. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. Tie me up. Let's try it. We're going to keep that one. So maybe I'm going to give you guys a tip. You know, they talk about the, let's call it a sexual, like, I don't know if you want to call it sexploration jar, right? And so in this jar, you just add, you know, maybe you won't even tell each other. So let me write this down too, because there can be a jar where like you guys can have things you want to try. So you don't have to tell each other when you're putting something in the damn jar, because you know that it didn't come from you. If you pick it up, you know it came from your partner. But if you have a sexploration jar, you can take your thoughts or kinks that you might want to try, put them in a jar, and your partner also puts them in a jar. So when it's that time, because you know sometimes as adults, you actually have to map out that time. But whenever y'all get to that time, you might say, okay, well, today we're going to use our jar. You pull, and I mean, you might not even say for today, because it might be something where you might have to prepare. You might have to pull from the jar in preparation for what's going down on Thursday. Okay, pull that tip from the jar, because then that builds the anticipation. So now we kind of know what we're getting ourselves into, because you might need to go buy some props. So give yourself a grace period, just in case whatever you pull out is like, I didn't know that you liked what? You want to try what? You might have to put that one back for later. And it might be some shit that's going to be stuck in the jar forever, because we ain't never trying that shit. But yes, sexploration. The sexploration jar. So yeah, with that being said, we go into the meeting soul support. Oh, I love it. Meeting souls, supporting the mission of grand enlightenment. So this goes on to say how we come across people that are not always, like I said, once again, not always intended to be romantic connections, but it is so grand, like to meet a soul that you're genuinely supposed to like had cross paths with, and you know that they know that you know that they know that you know that you guys are on this mission of grand enlightenment. It'd be like, you're here, I'm here too. You know, 55, I saw that coming. I saw 55, 53. But yes, it was like, oh my gosh. It's so refreshing to meet a soul sister, soul spirit, because it's just so like, you know, this is a battlefield out here. So when you meet one of your peoples, like let's just imagine if you're on the war, and then all of a sudden you come across, hey peoples, what's up peoples? All right, you on the battle, all right, do your shit, I'm over here. And so yes, thank us for doing the work. Okay, Thank us for doing the work. I'm so happy. It's so great to meet someone. So I did meet someone today that is also on a very enlightening journey. You can see the light radiating, you know what I'm saying, from these people. We're regular people. But angels are in disguise, okay? Angels not only are in disguise, but angels are in disguise. Okay. Calm down. Oh, angels are in disguise. So, oh my God, I'm sorry. Just be like, so also, stop fucking judging, because there's some angels in distress too. Motherfuckers. There's some angels that have sadly been affected very much so by this damn realm. Angels that are subjected to substance abuse. Angels that are subjected to alcoholism. Angels that are subjected to sexual, what do you call those, addictions. We're here experiencing the human experience. So any vice or anything that's we're being associated to, like I said, we shouldn't necessarily be judged upon. And like I said, we expand our consciousness even to give grace to thy murderers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not for me to judge. I'm not here. Of course, people should serve justice. You know, if you do something, you are very much so not simply just held accountable in the physical realm, but you are held accountable in your celestial realm. But with that being said, it's like I'm not the one to hold you to any type of punishment or something like that. More so, like I said, sometimes a soul can be lost on this mission. Outside of a loss, a soul can be totally corrupted. You know, so even in corruption, we still have grace because it's still a soul experiencing the human journey, right? So yeah, there's a lot of great people, a lot of great spirits, a lot of hidden angels that have had some very harsh lives, and in that harsh life, I wouldn't say that they weren't strong enough, but I'd say, like I said, this world took the cake, goddamn, and so they transitioned. We'll have to fight in a long, good, hard battle. So let's give a moment for the angels that fought a really good battle. In honor of those who were fighting to complete a soul mission that they were not able to fulfill. So, dealing with attacks on love, but the truth shall always balance the scales. So, like I said, there's an energy that's attempting to destroy our understanding and our connections with what love truly is, with the embodiment of what love is and how it's to be expressed. And there is not a one way, shape, or form to do that either. As there's love in so many different shapes and forms and sizes. There's even a peculiar kind of love that might be strange, like, you know, you call it strange love or something like that. Different type of love or something, more so like peculiar to, like, people find love in strange places. People find love in different faces. People find love in weird cases. Look at that. Okay, I'm done. Okay. But my point being is what I really was trying to get to is that to say, like, love can be unexpected. And love doesn't look one way. You know, the love that you establish in your connection may not look like the love established in another connection, for instance. Hold on just a second. But yeah, for instance, an example of that like Bobby and Whitney. A lot of people like to judge Bobby and Whitney for them being, on drugs and maybe feeling as though they're, I don't know. I just feel like maybe some people might not think that their love was real because they were always hyped up, so it couldn't have been real. But they really had a genuine, I feel like they had a twin flame connection, regardless of the fucking drugs. And even, personally, they're their own greatness. Like, there's greatness within them individually, even with the vices. You see what I'm saying? So just have respect for people in general. And I had to even regain my, I'm reestablishing, regaining my own, my joy in seeing all the different people, even the people, like I said, that we don't care for. It's really beautiful, to see the perfection in imperfection. It's amazing. So, that was 9 shots. Should we look into the number 9? I ain't gonna be petty right now. As we come to wrap this discussion up, I have a few more key points to make. So like I just mentioned with the dealing with the attack on love, but the truth shall always balance the scales. So like I said, the attack on love would be an example of that is how families are being destroyed and very much so intentionally being broken apart. There's just somehow battle between the sexes that's been going on and was at a point of rising, right? But now we are establishing new order and we are coming together, you guys. We are coming together to rebalance the scales of that home life, the home balance, that divine order, right? And so it's just so funny that I'm glad that spirit reminded me of this too, because there was a picture surrounding Rihanna and ASAP Rocky and how, ASAP is carrying the baby and he is following Rihanna as she leads the way. And so people are becoming very offended by this because as the world was taught that a man should lead, but people have to reestablish and understand the order of, yes, we both lead at the given time. Thank you so much, Spirit. 10444. We both lead, but in a specific matter of time. So there are some times where the woman is leading because she's showing the spiritual way. You see what I'm saying? So you take my hand, honey, let me show you the vision. And then thus the man shall become the leader as he lays the foreground, right? So, I don't know why people were so, offended by her leading in that picture, not understanding. I guess that's why, because of the lack of understanding. Thank you, Spirit, Lord. That's one of the biggest, hardest battles is that common sense is not so damn common. that's like, I'll be thinking like some of this shit just be like, no, but yeah, common sense is not so common. So we have to understand there's not a sense of like one being greater than the other. And that's why with ASAP being who he is, he was able to, and they both are very much still just young too. Like, just know that Rihanna's only 30 freaking 3. And he's like, what, 31 or 32, like a little bit behind her. So what they are doing is monumental in the visualization of a healthy Black family. Not that, I fuck with Christian Rock. I wish her the best. I don't know about the other situation. But the reason why I'm mentioning is that because, like, that's an example of something that's toxic, that's being, I fuck with her, but I don't like the expansion or the pushing of what's toxic. But, I can respect the fact that it is real shit and shit in real life and the real, like, outside of celebrity bullshit, that should be happening. It's the reality of these young couples, right? So, I understand the awareness of visualization, but at the same time, I don't like the imagery that we are painting, like to make it glorifying it. That's the problem. When we become to glorify the toxic ways. Yeah, no. So, trust even in times of betrayal makes you stronger. Now, this is not to say, like I said, don't allow yourself to be abused in any type of connection, no matter if it was a fucking marriage on paper or not. You're not going to keep doing the same damn thing, keep looking betraying me, and I'm not going to stay. You know what I'm saying? Don't be silly. But sometimes, like I said, the betrayal can be something like of a mistake, even though that person could have chose better. They did unfortunately make a mistake and chose something, whether or not that wasn't aiding to the growth of the connection. And thus you guys can understand the root of what was it, was it any of your triggers, your fears, your doubts? What was it something that I could have done to trigger you to make that decision? So you guys go back to, that's how you allow your betrayals, or you allow these situations in your toughest time together to actually strengthen you and not tear you guys down. But also 1818, thank you, Spirit. I want us to also understand how fucking hard, excuse me, but it's really hard as a partner dealing with another partner who may not be doing the work at that time. Am I tripping? I'm not tripping. Look at that. Look, I'm like, what the fuck? Look, so I thought I was tripping because I knew I was writing with a green pen, but then it started to change, like, and go darker. But the tip is still say green. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it looked like it's almost blue, but it's actually writing in green. Maybe I need to go to sleep on. I could tell that this is very much so brighter than this one. Is deeper, darker. It's so interesting too, because I had a message about that in the spirit of the last reading we did, where that dark green was resembled again. So something about that deep richness. Anywho, yeah, do your part, sir. So yeah, we got these people needing to do their part in the relationship to restore trust. And if you're restoring trust, you don't need to keep tearing the fucking trust down with betrayal. But that's why I say you got to be careful with who you are establishing a connection with, because some people enjoy building trust just to break it. It's unfortunate that we do live in that world, or this realm, where some people will gain your trust in order to break it, in order to control you, in order to gain it back again, in order to be like, what the fuck, you motherfucker? But thus we learn some things we cannot, like even some cycles that we go through with people we can't avoid. You have to go through that cycle with that person. Enjoy it while it lasts. For the good and bad. That's what I say, for better or worse. It's up to us what decisions are we going to make. We, not you or I. But it is hard if you're trying to be a we with somebody that only thinks about I. You can't be we with a motherfucker that thinks about me all the damn time. You see what I'm saying? It's okay to think about you and I. But make sure that we got this we going on, motherfucker. Love is a battlefield. I don't know who told you this lie. Who ain't told you 11:11 on the clock? Love is definitely very much so a battlefield. It's not 2:22. Thank you, Spirit. Look, it's all in sync. 2:22, 11:11. Look, it's not a battle per se to say. Like I said, it's not meant to make it a battle against you and I. It's meant to make it a battle of us for the sake of love and this union and respect and shit, right? So that's what I say, love is a battlefield, because you're going to have to fight together against anything fucking coming against your love. You got me fucked up. You got my love fucked up. You got my legacy fucked up. What's up? What's up? Run up. Because we about it. Okay? Let all the motherfucking energies know. Ain't coming between this one being the complete union. When I say one, I don't mean just me, motherfucker. I'm the one. My collective. Okay? Fuck you talking about? Big dog around here. 12 on the clock. Yeah, 10 toe, 15. Wait, how many toes we got? Got a lot of damn toes down. Depending on how many members you got in your family. 10 per person. Yeah. Fight for your fucking love. Fight for your fucking union. And then thus, something I didn't write down is you're going to have to fight even when you don't feel the fucking love. That's what I said so damn hard. You're going to have to fight when that person isn't acting for the love. You know, because like I said, we go through our journeys of being human, going through our own healing, probably running from our person because we're like, fuck that. And that's the thing too, like I said, divine feminine. You probably think that you can do no wrong. But we know damn well when this love does come for you, there's probably why you run into, because there's going to be some things that you have to hold to. And now you're going to be accountable for a certain level of growth with yourself that you've been making excuses for. There's a beautiful growth that's supposed to be there in a sense of like pushing you forward into your new. There's a growth that with this person, with you guys together in this union, you're going to push each other into a growth and an expansion that you may not have experienced alone. Not even may not. You would not have experienced alone. And so that's why it's very important for you guys to remain strong together, because where you're going, it could end up being detrimental if you guys separate. You know how they say, like, why the fuck y'all get to a scary movie and then y'all say, go this way, you go that way. Why the fuck, bitch, hold on, wait a minute. So there is a season now where you will be facing the season as one. But as the one, it won't be you on your own mission. It's one. We on the mission. Let's go. Even sometimes, like I told you, when that mission, even though it's one, it may sometimes look like you got to do you and I got to do this. Okay? But when we know that we're committed, we always do that. We always come back. If we're both growing, if we both doing what we need to do. Look at that. Okay, bitch. Look, that's going to be part of our secret handshake. What the fuck? Yeah, let me try it one time. Blessings. Okay. Represent. Hold it down. POP, we take flight. Blessings dripping. Rock star. Yes, we've come to the end. And the last one talks about mirroring wounds. So like I said, we must be cautious to not mirror our wounds and project our wounds onto each other. That can look like I said, trust issues, where if you've experienced a lot of things that you can't trust in your life, and so now you're projecting your trust issues, like I said, side-eyeing each other. Who goes there? Who are you? Who are you? What are you doing here? You know, the trust issues, what's that called? Like skepticism. Also try to avoid speculation. So like I said, speculation can become dangerous if you have a jealous partner that may make like accusations or speculate that you're doing something with someone. And what I don't like about it is like you're annoyed by something that's not true, and then if that person is holding you, you know, like I said, like sometimes unfortunately it can be expressed in a manner of like domestic abuse. And so if you're being held accountable for something that you didn't do, and then now not only being held accountable, you're actually allowing like your traumas to affect your partner by tearing them down, even physically or mentally or emotionally. And so, yeah, let's be careful about that. So there's, like I said, some fears of betrayal or abandonment. So like I said, mirroring these wounds of like, I'm going to leave you before you can leave me. Let's try not to abandon our partners. If I'm agreed to be here, then you should trust that I'm trusting you to stay put. Now, don't take advantage of my trust because you had a moment of fleeting non-trust, and now you done left me and shit because you wasn't trusted. And that goes both ways, you know. We do it to each other. Like, I'm jumping out this motherfucking boat. I don't trust this bitch ain't paddling. I'm jumping out this damn boat. I don't know if he know where we going. Y'all in the boat together now. Lust. Where was that? Why was that there? Mirroring lustful wounds. Oh, yeah, like I said, like lust could also be, like I said, the fear of like someone cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like fear of someone stepping out, or even your own fear. You know, because some people have fears within themselves that they might become a victim of lust. And I said a victim, or I should more say subjected to lust, because you make your choice if you fall into that temptation. And someone may be concerned with their own ability to not fall into temptation because of their lustful desires. But that's something else that you guys work on. You know, both parties, even if someone's not necessarily lustful, can still experience lust, you know, through the enemy, you know, whatever entities are trying to destroy this love connection in a sense. So if there can be lustful thoughts on either party, right? Even outside of the actions. So it's not to say that person is, how do we say, not simply guilty, but just because that person has lustful thoughts does not make them a bad person, okay? Once again, we're all human. We're subjected to this shit. We just got to learn how to work through it together now. 1919. So learning how to deal with those triggers when they are coming up. So if you are someone who is subjected to lustful things, try to get down to the root of maybe something that you're suppressing or trying to avoid within yourself. And then thus, like I said, doing that root work, doing that internal work. And then thus, you know, you do have your partner, try to be open and honest with your partner about some things that you might not feel comfortable expressing. You know, it's like hard to admit where we're wrong at, but we need to know in the sense of it's hard to assist someone with an issue that they aren't sharing with you. So it's better to keep your partner in the loop so that, one, I know why, and then thus I can even then extend grace because I know where this trigger is coming from, and I know it's not personal, so I don't have to come from a place of defense more so than a place of understanding, you know, and thus still accountability, because don't we have these triggers don't mean that your trigger will keep affecting our motherfucking relationship. Address that shit. Okay, so what we gonna do about it? I said, what we gonna do about it? Yes. Isolation also. Mirroring, like I said, we mirror wounds. So sometimes we may put ourselves into isolation thinking that we have to deal with things alone. Even when you get with your partner, you might feel a sense of pressure, especially like sometimes when men, they don't feel like they can express certain things to a woman because they're expected to carry the load. And that's not always true, in a sense of like their expectations can sometimes be fears that are not based in like actuality of who you are. Maybe just something, like I said, they dealt with some what do you call that, residual things. So anywho, it's saying like someone or you may put yourself into like an isolated space of where, like I said, you feel like they wouldn't understand anyway, and I don't want to burden them with this, so I'm going to keep it to myself. And to be honest, you don't have to. You know, now you have a partner to help you with whatever systems you need to kind of work through and express. And that's going to be a hard one anyway, though. Like to even, especially if you're a person that take care of your own shit, you handle your own battles and whatever go on, you get that shit done. But then now you have to like let somebody else know, like, okay, I do have a problem with this particular thing, and I actually do need some help on it. And I'm like letting you know, to put your shit in somebody else's lap. No, I don't know. So be receiving of the help that's extended through this connection. Try not to push it away, because it's only takes so, like, sometimes people can try for so many times, but you have to be receiving, right? Yeah, so sometimes isolation can lead to depression, suppressions, loneliness, and a desire to be too independent, right? So if you isolate yourself and you find yourself in a state of depression, this is because you've been suppressing something that you are longing for. And like, let's say if you go into a space, like I said, you isolate yourself, but you really are craving to be in company with someone, but because you're avoiding these, like, facing your fears or whatnot, you isolate yourself, and that only makes you sadder because you really just want to be with someone. And then because you're sad, you start to even suppress it thus further. You try to, not only are you stuffing down the love that you have, now you're trying to stuff down the sadness because you don't want to deal with any of the sadness caused because of the rejection internally of love that you're doing, trying to push love away, right? And then you become lonely, and then you become very defensive and like, I can do it myself. Like, oh, so funny. Oh my God, I don't know if I mentioned this yet before, but it's so fucking funny because I had that thought too of like somebody become so lonely and so like whatever that they remember that movie, Scary Movie, or was it Scream? Yeah, Scary Movie 2 or something like that. And so the dude in the wheelchair, right? The one with the dude in the wheelchair. He said she was trying to bribe him, 124. She was trying to bribe him with some head. And so he was like, what? Oh, I can do it myself. He lifted his legs. Do you want to be sucking your own dick? Oh my God. Lord have mercy. I think we're gonna end on that note. Do you want to be sucking your own thing, Lord, for the rest of your life? He said I could do it myself. So that was the message of becoming too fucking self-independent. I don't know about that. Even if I could, would I? We'll save that one for the rhetorical question, no answer necessary box. But thank you for being present. I hope that you came all this way. You know what I'm saying? If you did, I commend you. Because our attention spans nowadays is very, very low. We've been programmed that way. But anywho, I'm glad that I made it through. I'm going to go ahead and share this to the Facebook profile, so that they get, everybody's all in sync or whatnot. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. So know that you are loved. Know that even though your person is still growing, they haven't forgot about you. As you see that Spirit has told us, like I said, as long as you keep doing your work, you and your spirit person who's really meant for you will come together and life shall go on. Okay? Totally. I hope you enjoy. Until the meantime, you have fun with dating the universe, because the universe is something special, okay? So you enjoy that time with you in the universe. And I'm out. Bye. Have a good night, good morning, and good evening. See you later, Love Martians.